V'hinei ikar Torah li'ederatzonai elyon. And the main concept of Torah is to know the supernal will, shebetorah shebichsav, that's within the written Torah. Hu'aydei Torah shebal peh, and that's through the oral Torah, sheba mevor be'er hetev, but there it's explained very well. Balzen emar ho'il Moshe bi'eres HaTorah, and about this it says that Moshe began and explained the Torah, l'chein nikra Torah shebichsav, musar avicha, and therefore the written Torah is called the rebuke of your father, v'torah shebal peh Torah simecha, and the oral Torah is called the Torah of your mother. Ki aim lebina tikra, because you will call Bina the mother. K'mo ekar havlad nasa bebet na'im chulu, because the main child is formed in the womb of the mother. Specifically, the concept of the oral Torah is where the Torah is truly formed to its completion. And about this, our sages said that extra measure of understanding of Bina was given to woman more than man. Meaning Torah Shebal Peh more than Torah Shebichsav. And more pleasant to me are the words of the sages, Yosem Divrei Torah, more than the words of the Torah. And that's the concept of the supernal allegory. That through the oral Torah, the allegory comes to be grasped to its richness. So we were saying that before, that the Torah is the garment for the infinite light. So similarly, within the Torah itself, we see that the oral Torah is this concept in comparison to the written. Now about the oral Torah, it says that there are 60 queens and 80 concubines and young women without number. And our sages explained in Midrash Rabbin Shir Hashirim in its place Taf Lamed Daled Amud Beis Samech Hema Malachos, that 60 queens, Elu Samech Masachtos, that refers to the 60 Masachtos of the Gemara. V'chein hu b'dabos Parshas Korach Taf Rishayin Daled Ushmonim Palagshi Milu HaBraisos, and the 80 concubines that refers to Braisos. B'dabos Sham Ilu Pei Parshios Shebetorah Shebichsav Zeu Ke'in Baraisa. In Medrash Shabbat says that's the 80 Parshas of the written Torah, and that's like a Baraisa. I'm not sure how that the Parshas of the written Torah are Baraisa. And in Gemara and Brachos, Daf Yud Aleph Amud Beis, the Torah's Kohanim Nikra Medrash. And in Gemara and Brachos, it says that the Torah's Kohanim, the Vayikra, no, it says the Pei Parshios should be Torah's Kohanim, Zeuki and Braisa. That the 80 Parshios of Torah's Kohanim of Vayikra is like a Braisa. That's what the Palagshim refers to. And in Gemara Brachos, it says the Torah's Kohanim is Nikra Medrash in comparison to the rest of the Torah. And the many young maidens, that refers to halachos. Kein kasabrai mehem na Parshas Pinchas dafrei shudvav v'chein mashma b'shir hashirim sham v'hinidim yonu mashal mishnayos l'malachos. Now the likeness and comparing the mishnayos to the queens, Mamer Razal Masnisa Malkasa, like our sages said, that the Mishnah is the queen, and the Rebbe says on the bottom, Masnisa Malkasa bebeya kav chesamud beis. This is from Gemara Beya Masnisa Malkasa, that the Mishnah is the queen. L'chora kein tzarich lagia kan Masnisin Malkasa, not Masnisa Malkasa. So what's Masnisin? That's what needs to be the Girsa here, B'Torah Ohr. Look at the Torah. Shira Shirim al pasuk zeh u'b'likutei Torah b'shira Shirim al pasuk zeh, also to be changed the Girsa in Likutei Torah. Chinu l'nacham Toras Chaim dibur maskal Ve'ela Shemos, and that's actually taka how it's written in Toras Chaim in Mamer Lishmos. Ki b'Talmud Bavli masnisa hu kinoi l'braisa b'nikud l'masnisin, because in the Gemara the masnisa is is what's referred to as the braisa in comparison to masnisin, which is the Mishnah Shalanu, our Mishnah. Hanemar al Mishnah be'asham vayin gamkin tainis kaf aleph aleph. Uri lekaman perek daled gamkin masnisin malkase, and also perek daled, in perek gimel, it does mention masnisin as the queen. So the Mishnah is the queen, not the masnisa, the braisa. Hu al pi Mamer Nazal isha mazras odem mishmimenu basar chulu. So comparing the Mishnayos to the queens, it's like I just said, that the woman gives the redness, that from which comes the flesh and so forth, in comparison to the man who gives the whiteness that comes the bones and so forth. So the basar, the actual flesh of the child, comes from the mother, from the drop of the mother. Like it's written, Isha kisas riaviel zachar, that the woman, when she gives seed and gives birth to a male. So it says the woman is the one. It mentions the woman. Like it says, like I just said, that when the woman is roused first and so forth, so that's when you have the male. So the main giving birth is from the seed of the woman. And the Rebbe says on the bottom, this needs looked into as the proof for this. That it brings that it ends there in the Gemara. That it also says that if the man is aroused first, so then you'll have a nekeva. Like Torah's Chaim in Tevas Elu, and in Torah or in Torah's Chaim it doesn't mention this proof of Isha Mazaras Tchila. It is a proof. Back in the Mamer, v'tipas tachar, and the masculine drop, urak levada tipas ban, is only to purify and clarify the drop of the feminine of shem ban. Shema hatov umuvchar notzar of lad, and physically that's from the best part of the drop. That's where the child is formed from, but the main, so to speak, matter and body of the child is from the drop of the mother. It says, my path and my rova I sowed. So the Rebbe says on the bottom, so these words until Hagoran, like somebody who sows his seeds in the threshing floor that's not brought in Torah or and those words should be there, and the one who wrote them down and left them out. When he was writing down the parentheses. And we have another a few examples like this further on the Mamer. And back inside, so it says, Orchi v'rivi zarisa tilim simin kuf lametes v'amru zal sof perek gimel de nida, and our sages said in nida, mashallah adam shezores hagoran chulu, that it's compared to a man that sows a threshing floor. But tazrieni chayil, and I sowed with my strength. Ayin Sham, look over there. That pasuk is also connected. Tazrieni chayil milchama. וברבos Parshas Tazria, Parshas Daled, נזכר גם כן, וגם אמרו שם, סוף פרק הנ"ל, על פסוק הלא כחלב תתיכני, זה כגבינה תקביני, and also it's brought there in the Medrash, the pasuk, that you made me like cheese, hardened me, and like milk you poured me, and like cheese you've made me substantial. You've congealed me. Bi'ov simin yud, im shel isha malidam omed chulu. If by the woman who's filled with blood it stands, and so forth. But it's shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu holeches tipa shel levanonis, and with the will of the Holy One, blessed be He, brings down the drop of white. V'nofeles l'socha, and falls into it. And that is the seed of the male that is aroused with the whiteness. So it's like putting the maimid into the cheese, the maimid. Miyad havlad nutzar. So right away the child is formed. Mashal chalosh nasan bekaida. It's compared to the milk that's placed in a tray. If you place the masu into it, which is what makes the cheese congeal, it congeals and stands. Parshas Beishis, Parshas Daled Sham, Pirshamat Niskuna, Masu Sam O Esav Shnosni Bechalav. So the Matnas Kahuna explains what masu is. It's like this spice or this grass that's placed in milk, lahamid or lahafrid mehachalav mehagvina, to separate and to stand up the liquids from the cheese. Nimsa muvar mizeh. So it's understood from this shekamo shagvina ikara nishava min hachalav, that just like cheese, it's created from the milk. It's only that this substance, the masu, causes to divide away the watery milk min hachalav from the milk itself that can become cheese. And through this, the cheese can be formed. Similarly, the whiteness that the father has a seed. It's compared to this masu substance with a cheese that purifies and divides within the blood of the womb of the woman, to form from it the child. But nonetheless, we can understand from this that the main forming of the child, whom midama isha, is formed from the blood of the woman itself. Therefore, our sages said that most of the children are compared to the brothers of the mother. Most of the sons are like the brothers of the mother, because that's what their main body comes from the mother. But the truth is that this is a concept of purification after purification. Because the drop of the feminine drop is also after a purification process. Because the formation of this drop is from the foods that she eats, and are purified to the point where they're changed to blood within the liver, and go up to the heart, and from there to the mind. And afterwards is drawn from the mind, from her brain, to be aroused with a drop, the feminine drop. So the drop of the mother also comes from her brain. Nimsam shachazui ma'im ma shekvar nitzbarer betachlis. This is also mentioned in Sha'akdamos Parakei. Nimsam shachazui ma shekvar nitzbarer betachlis achinichlo b'mochin denokva. So it's found then that which comes from the mother is that which was already purified completely to the point where it's included in the brains of the mother of the feminine. Az misham nimshachat tipas nukva, and so it's from the food that was purified, and from there is drawn the drop from the feminine. Only that nonetheless, in order so that you can have from this the creation of the child, you cannot have the child until it's purified a second time through the drop of the masculine. Look what's brought about the concept of then Yisrael saying, lift up the well. It's a concept of the feminine yesod, the Elias, the Mainukvin of the concept of nukva while you sleep in the nighttime. Malpikavanos of Kriyash Malamita. Atam kemushkas b'makomache b'nyanatam derai mehemna Rish Parshas Tisa. And the reason is like it says in another place about the reason of in Derai mehemna Rish Parshas Tisa Avdel Mishkal Be Da Yud, that it says that the stone to weigh with is the Yud. Kemushal Yidei Ha'evan Shokli Maschora, just like through the stone that you weigh the goods with, that you're going to sell or buy. And then it says on the bottom, Binyanatam, Elikuti Torah Bir Lidibora Maskil Ali Be'er Perek Beis, Derech Mitzvosech, Alat Semach Tzedek, Mitzvahs Machasisa Shekel. And back inside. Vaschora Yikara Harbe Mina Even, and the goods themselves are much more precious than the stone that you weigh with. Shabo Shoklim, that you weigh all the goods with to sell them. Kamokin Lamaila Hayud Bechinas Chachma, so to above. The Yud is the concept of Chachma, Bechachmas Biriru, that with Chachma you clarify and purify. Nikra Avna Lamishkal Be, it's called the stone that you weigh with. Shabo Val Yadu Shokli Maschora, that with it you weigh the goods to find out exactly what they're worth and how much. I know Birurim Shemavarim Mishimban, and that's the purifying. The Shemban, Shishosho Mishim Sag, that the Shemban is rooted in Shem Sag. Shalamayla Mebichinas Chachma Koach Machulu, that's higher than the concept of Chachma Koach Ma, therefore, like the Schora, that's worth more than the stone. So too, Sag is worth more than Ma. Therefore, the crown of the woman of valor is the crown of her husband. That the feminine surrounds the male, the female surrounds the male, with her source is higher. Just like the stone is not worth as much as what it's weighing. Or the child that gets formed from the masculine drop. The medalig is with one leg, and Mekapetz is with two legs, and the harim are the avos, that's one leg, and Mekapetz with two legs, that's the imos, the gvos. And so too you can understand with the concept of the written Torah and the oral Torah that are also called your father and your mother canal, like we said, look about the concept of Shmini Atzeres and how the Torah was commanded to us or attached to us by Moshe. You have a concept of a union of the written Torah and the oral Torah, so that's compared to the union of the male and the female, because it's a concept of this union of the feminine waters and the masculine waters. Like it says in the Mamer, how all the nations saw the voices when it's on the explanation of the statement of our sages. Do not say water, water, beis pamim mayim, that these two times water, mayim halyonim, that refers to the higher waters, b'chinas yam ha'chachma, the sea of wisdom, in hamayim shisiu, that was taken from the water that's like Moshe Rabbeinu and Chachma. Shemisham nimshach Torah shebechsav, that's where the written Torah comes from, Torah's Moshe. K'moshe kasuv v'tamale kada, like it says, by the Amos, that she filled up, by Rivka, that she filled up her jug. The word kada, kafdal sfarim deoraisa, refers in Medrash to the 24 books of the Torah. So that's water. That's 24 books of the Torah are compared to the water in the jug. And the lower waters, and that's the first purification, the first biur, that which was elevated from the breaking of the vessels, lamata b'klibas noga, that was fell into the klibas noga, mitzvos, and that's not through the study of Torah necessarily, but through fulfilling the mitzvos, that's what goes up in the feminine waters. Like it's brought on this verse, lift up the well, and then when you have the written Torah and the oral Torah, so you can unite these two concepts of water, and they become one thing truly, Suras Os Aleph, and that's the picture of the letter Aleph, Shnei Yudin Domin Lebez B'chinos Maimanal, that the two yuds correspond with the two types of water, the higher and the lower, and don't say mayim because really they're one thing. Because they become one, nasu lachadim al yidei havav, they become one through the vav. Shebeinehem, that's between the two yuds that are in the aleph. And that's why the 10 Commandments start with the Aleph of Anochi, I am Hashem, your Elokecha. That the Aseret Adibros is the Hamshacha of, I guess, the Torah Shebechsav to the Torah Sheba'al Peh within the concept of that Aleph. And like it's explained in another place, Vayin Mizeh, B'Zohar Chilik Aleph, Parshas Bereishis, Daf Chavav Amud Beis, B'Me'orei Oros Aleph Siman Dalet, Sif Dalet. Ve'ikar ha'olado nimshach me'bechinas mayim nukfin, and the main concept of the birth comes from the feminine waters, like we said, the concept of the odim. The Shiur sham me'od naila, that the feminine arousal has a very high source, me'mashanafal molamato, that fell down from the world of Tohu, me'bechinas lefnei melech melech lefnei Yisrael chulu, from before a king ruled for the sons of Israel, that the Shem Sag, the Oros of Sag of Tohu. And the main purification of these feminine waters is through the oral Torah. And that's the concept of the Mishnayos, which is to purify with wisdom. You purify Tameh Tahor, Asur Mutar, impure and pure, forbidden and permissible. Perish Mutar, what does it mean permissible? Sheinu Asur V'Kashur, that Mutar means released or untied, as opposed to Asur, which means tied. Sheinu Asur V'Kashur, that's not tied and up b'yedei achitzonim, in the hands of the external forces, v'yachol alos v'likal b'kedusha, and it can be elevated and included within holiness. that's the Mishnayos is able to be mevarer in order for it to go up. Ki adam hu nefesh, because the blood is the soul. And so if you're mevarer the dam with the chokhmah, you're releasing and elevating the nefesh that's in it. Now from all foods that you eat, it becomes blood. Because you have three rulers within a person: the liver, the heart, and the mind. That the blood is purified, purification after purification, meaning that the blood is purified and goes to the heart and goes to the mind. That blood becomes clarified and used for higher and higher purposes. But the point is that the blood, the food that you eat, becomes like the soul, and the soul is the life force that you're elevating. And with the strength of this food, you read and daven with all your heart and with all your soul and so forth, and it can be elevated, and your soul can be elevated. But forbidden foods, even if you learn and daven with the strength from that eating, does not go up to Hashem, to be with all of your hearts. And that's the concept of purifying the foods, like it's brought in Tanya. So too, purifying the garments and the houses, which are an encompassing concept. The purification is through the concept of wisdom, the concept of the Mishnayos. I'm not sure the concept of purifying your house and garments through study. So we explain that the main grasping of Torah is through the oral Torah, and it's called the Torah of your mother. Because we call Bina the mother, Bina Yesera Nitna Be'isha, that the woman was given an extra measure of understanding of Bina. And that's the 60 queens. Elu Shishim Masachtos, that refers to the 60 Masachtos. Ki Eker Huladas Havladum Odam Shemazrasa Eim, that the main forming of the child in the womb is from the redness that the mother is aroused in. Like it's brought in Medrash Rabbah on the verse from Eov, that you've made me stand up like cheese, you formed my body like cheese. And the whiteness that the man gives as seed is only purifying that redness, which is the main thing, umamido, and stands it lihiyos nikfa, to congeal like in the mushel of the cheese. And so too with the concept of the written Torah and the oral Torah, that are called the rebuke of your father and the Torah of your mother. Do not say water, water. That these two waters are the masculine waters and the feminine waters, but the main formation comes from the feminine waters, Ali Be'er, because it's an elevation of the of the nukva, like the well, because it goes up the sag, like you mentioned, Shnikra Mayim, which is called water, V'chalav, and milk. And the Rebbe says on the bottom, Mayim V'chalav V'atak Acheres Mayim Chaim, that's called living waters from the well. Or chalav, like we brought from the mashal of Eov, from Eov. That this is what's purified from the world of tohu, the ban, the nitzutzos. And that's why the Mishnayos are called the well, Ohr Hatorah, to Masnis and Malkasa, like he said, that's called to purify, to clarify the Torah, is the same word be'er as the word well, but ber chafaru asarim. V'hu ber ma'im chayim, and that's the well of life-giving waters. Al zeh nemar ki im bezo sisal ala misalel, and about this it says, only with this will the praised one praise himself. Haskel v'yadosi. Kedlakaman sif dalad, like we'll explain the next sif. Shemavar itzadas tovera, that you're purifying the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Lakoshro beitzachayim, to attach it to the tree of life. Ohr Hatorah Shemos, which is the written Torah, in the masculine waters. Mayan Ganim, the spring of the gardens. Gan Sadarim Deoraisa, which are the 53 orders of the Torah. That's the river, the water of the garden to the Torah. You're attaching the water there. And then it says on the bottom, Mayan Ganim, Reisha Dikra. It's the beginning of the pasuk, the Be'er Mayim Chaim, that it says the well of life-giving waters. That's the Mayan Ganim. Look what it says in the Mamer, the beer on Ali Be'er.